All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the channel. I'm, of course, the Joker and Harley Quinn. So we got to see the new Joker movie on Monday when it first came out. We saw it at IMAX. More like I max out my credit cards buying these tickets. But anyway, so we wanted to give our thoughts on the movie. It's got a lot of really polarizing reviews so far. We wanted to share our thoughts and give y'all an idea of what to expect. This may include spoilers. I'm just going to say it. If you don't want the movie spoiled and you want to see it for yourself, this is your chance. Go away from this video. But stick around. Here are thoughts. That's true. I could try and do that.
We got a lot to say, so stick around.
I still don't know if I like the movie yet. I guess as a movie, it's good, but just the way things turned out, not thrilled about it. There's a lot of things that happened in it that I feel like you didn't need to do that.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. It's very mixed reviews. After the movie, we're like, that was okay. And then sometimes we're like, that was bad. And then sometimes we're like, well, this was a good representation of whatever.
I feel like for the most part, the whole movie, up until maybe the last 20 minutes, was good. I liked where it was going, where I thought it was going, and how they could have made it turn out. But they really, really wanted to stick to the tragedy aspect, I think. Because the first one, I don't know about y'all, but when I watched the first one, I've seen it a dozen times at this point, love it. It kind of paints Arthur as the hero. It makes you feel bad for him all the way up until the end. And then you're like, oh, that's cool. You're like, he did his thing. He's finally happy. And then I feel like they did the opposite in this. For the whole movie, pretty much, you're like, oh, he's like, something's coming. He's got his girl, blah, all this. And then at the very end, it's spoiler alert right now, he fucking dies. So I'm not going to say how, I'm not going to spoil it that much, but Arthur Fleck dies at the end of the movie. And yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything else.
Very sad indeed. If you like comedies, I wouldn't go to this guy's stand-up or the Joker 2 movie. So
Damn. Anyway, let's talk about what are some areas of the movie that you want to address?
I feel like there has always been, and I think that's pretty common knowledge, that the Joker movies can tend to appeal to what we call the incel community.
Yeah.
Right? And this movie did just that. It was absolute rage bait.
It's such a good term to use. It was rage bait, for
Yeah.
sure. Because he had the girl, and then, God, I feel bad spoiling it. But she turned out like all of the other girls. And I don't know. But it was a very different view of Harley. It was a very different representation. I'm glad, though, that I guess in a way she was manipulative. But that's not the first word that I would use. She was on board, and I wouldn't say manipulating, but she was very encouraging Arthur to be the Joker. She wanted him to be that.
But she was right. But was it for his sake or her sake?
I And there were moments in the movie, these might be more spoilers. There were moments in the movie where it did seem like she genuinely cared about him and she wasn't necessarily getting anything off of it. You know what I mean? She wasn't the moments where she was in front of the news cameras and she wasn't necessarily making it all about her and look at me. This is who I am. She was like
At one point, she was out to the front of the courtroom and then did the
was telling
dramatic
off his lawyer and stuff.
walk down. Like, okay,
You're right. It's it's going to be one of those movies that as you watch it, you have to be mindful of what you're thinking and what you're feeling. Because this movie is going to make you feel certain things at certain moments, and you can't get wrapped up in the hype of it. Because it would be very easy, we've mentioned before, to watch this movie and then at the end be like, the women are the same. And like, that's obviously not true. The first movie was all about Arthur putting on the makeup. This one is more about him taking off the makeup. And part of Harley's whole thing was she was very encouraging of him to keep the makeup on, be the Joker, stay the Joker, and go that whole route. And Arthur was clearly having second doubts about it, which he shouldn't have, but that's his whole thing, that's his journey, and she was trying to steer him a different way. And then when he didn't do exactly what she wanted, spoiler alert, she left him. And it would be easy to just be like, oh, that's how women are. They want sensationalism. They want whatever. But I'm here to tell you from personal experience, not the case. We met in a bar room. She doesn't have social media. She had no clue who I was. Still doesn't have social media. Doesn't care about that at all. Doesn't care if I perform or not. She just encourages me with whatever I want to do. So,
Right. Which brings me to another point I wanted to bring up was at some point in the movie, the lawyer is like, she doesn't care about you. She's getting her graduate degree in psychology. What does that have to do with anything? I'm getting my graduate degree in psychology.
I think the angle that they were going was that she just didn't tell him that. She made it seem like she grew up poor and she got checked into the thing. She said her dad was abusive and had died, and her mom checked her in when like, none of that was true. Nothing she said was true.
Right.
And she left out very big truths about herself. The fact that she was in school for psychiatry, willingly checked herself back out. It was all just a ploy to meet him and seem relatable to him.
Which is just, why would anyone do that?
Yeah.
Why would anyone? An asylum is an awful place. Why would you go the extra mile
To go there.
Like,
interestingly enough, in a way, her lying about her backstory is more in line with the type of stuff the Joker does.
right.
Because in The Killing Joke, a lot of people say that's the canon backstory for the Joker. It's canon in the sense that the Joker is the one telling his backstory. That is canon. The Joker said that was his backstory. But the Joker lies. He even says it, I think, in The Killing Joke. He says, sometimes I remember it one way, sometimes I remember it a totally different way. It's easier for him to not think about who he is or where he came from. So it's just interesting that she made up this whole story to meet him, and none of it was true.
It was all very strange, and I have plenty of opinions about it. That's why I'm here.
So my initial thing with the movie, when they announced that they were doing a second one, because I never thought that Arthur Fleck was the Joker, right? He's very uneducated, clumsy, goofy dude, but would he really stand up to the test of being the arch nemesis to someone who's described as the world's greatest detective? I don't think so, right? So my whole thing was, in the second movie, Arthur would meet someone in Arkham who would then take up the mantle. And in a sense, that did happen. But they didn't have to kill him. We've already said it. They didn't have to kill Arthur off. Kind of pissed about that. And also, as soon as they announced that he was going to have a Harley Quinn, it didn't make sense to me. Because if you know anything about the Arthur Fleck character, he's not exactly smooth with the ladies. Or with anyone, for that matter. I love him. Cool dude, I guess. But that is just the facts. And they didn't have to do the Harley angle at all, but the way that they twisted that character to make it to where she was kind of manipulating him, I guess, it makes more sense. I just didn't get it at all when I first heard about it. But after seeing it, it makes sense. I just don't like that they did it. Why did he have to be the one to get a Harley Quinn? You could have met someone that they could have. Good movie. I'm just disappointed. I don't know how you feel, but
And anywhere you go, I challenge you to find a good review on this because it was very hard. The irony that I saw a lot of times when I was looking at these reviews is people were like, I don't want to see Arthur, I want to see the Joker. That's what the whole movie's about. And also, if anyone remembers, that's what he is trying to go against, is that sensationalism. And it's like, that's his character. It's just ironic that we were seeing those reviews. I thought that was pretty funny, but
no, it's poetic. They don't even, it's accidental irony, I guess. So I don't have too much more to say. I would recommend going to see it. The musical aspect of it was slightly annoying, but then again, I get it. They're both musical characters, and They made it make sense. It was just sometimes at inappropriate moments, I think. I interrupt a scene to do this.
I like try not to laugh in the theater because it was at the most random times. They're like, "Oh, what are you thinking about the death penalty, Arthur?" And then he's just like goes into a fucking song. It's so strange.
I mean, they picked cool songs, I guess, though. It was all very related to the ideas and themes going on in a sense, but it just, why?
And Harley is our Lord and Savior, Gaga, and her voice is beautiful. I don't know how I'm feeling about that.
I'm just shocked that she agreed to do this role. Someone like her read a script like that and was like, this is good.
That's what I was probably most shocked about, that she agreed to do that, because it's playing the role of, oh, you're being yourself now. I don't like that, which is everything.
She does.
She literally made the song Born This Way. She's the last person you would think would encourage that kind of thing. So
I'm not going to say shame on her, but I'm going to say how could you know?
Well, I do want to bring up that I get that they were trying to go for a different version of Harley. And the way back in the day lore Harley, we all know that that's pretty harmful representation. And this is the other end of harmful representation of, oh, women bad. They don't really like you for you. That's literally what it was insinuating in this movie. So.
If we could get just a better representation of Harley Quinn that's not an abuse victim or borderline abusive, that'd be fucking sick. Just a normal, healthy version, I guess. I don't know.
It's and the worst thing is, another spoiler, she's pregnant, and he's like, oh, so what about the baby? What? No, and just walks.
It kind of makes you wonder what they're going to do with that. Because I do believe that they're going to make a second one. Even if this one does bad, I think it's kind of a passion project for Todd Phillips at this point. Because obviously the Hangover series, the second one apparently sucked, and he still did 3, and was there a 4th one too? I don't know, but he just kept going. I'm sure it's going to make him a lot of money. I think they're going to do another one. Because Joaquin Phoenix, in an interview, he said, I don't want to play this role anymore. Apparently the diet that he had to be on to be that skinny it's just too much for him as he gets older. He doesn't want to do it. But he didn't say, we're not going to do this series or we're ending the series. I think they're going to continue it. Was Lady Gaga, was Harley Quinn actually pregnant, or was that a lie? We never get clarification on that, but
we don't get clarification, and we're like, oh, there's gonna be another one, and then he just fucking dies. Well, what is going on?
They definitely left the door open for taking it in all sorts of different routes.
What if they might go the cheesy route? Oh, he wakes up in his jail cell, he's like, oh, that was a crazy dream.
Yeah.
He didn't really die.
You just never know. But I don't really have anything else to say about it. Go see it for yourself. Make your own decisions.
I do want to say the one thing that I did appreciate is that he, in the end, even if it was uncomfortable, he took the makeup off metaphorically and literally and was taking accountability for stuff that nobody even knew about, including his mom. He didn't have to do that. Nobody was asking questions, but he did it. And that's why it rubbed me the wrong way that these are good things to do. Everyone should be themselves, be honest with themselves, be self-aware. And then his girlfriend leaves him and he dies. Like,
textbook tragedy, where it's just a tragic flaw that you can't escape, and it's always going to come back and get you in the end.
You should say her breath in the morning.
No.
I made fun of you earlier.
That's true. That's fine. But I was going to say something on a similar vein to that.
Tragedy.
That was before that.
Positive.
Ironically enough, for a lot of this movie, Arthur had his makeup poorly washed off, like halfway off. And I went to the theater, I went to AMC to see the movie in full getup. I called beforehand and they were like, you can wear clown makeup, that's fine. Just no mask, no weapons. I get to AMC and I'm in line at the concession stand. I order something. A manager comes out and says, "Hey, I just asked again. You're not allowed to wear that. You have to take it off." So I had to go to the bathroom and try and wash this off as best I could in the sink. So I'm sitting there watching this movie with my makeup half off. It was very weird.
Yeah, it creeped me out a little.
No clue. And then even more disappointing, I found out that people all over the country were wearing makeup and costumes and stuff for this movie. But they wouldn't let the Joker wear his makeup to this movie. If you look in the dictionary next to the word travesty, it's that whole scenario. So, fucking wild. Anyway, I guess, is that the end? That's all we have to say?
I think we about summed it up. Looking back, I was like, I got a lot to say, but I pretty much got it out. So.
I think that's everything. Go check it out for yourself. We appreciate y'all watching. If y'all like this type of stuff, like, comment, subscribe, share. We're going to be doing more reaction videos on this channel, and also the old stuff too. So keep an eye out for that as well. But thanks for